we have in the world. Great to catch up today with Blaze Heaven, and we'll be talking a lot about Blaze when it comes to the 125 race. He's on the Moto3 bike, the first time we've had a true Moto3 bike in New Zealand, and when he's saying that, of course, these Moto3 bikes are now effectively going faster than Super Sport 600s are going, it just gives us an idea of their excellence in racing. So now for the pole position, nice start off the inside for Regan Phipps, and a good one to get away. It's got to Dennis Charlotte road there, and of course Mr. Grant Ramage, the local ambassador, and of course local event organiser, a man who helps with the overall organisation of our sport. And he was telling me last night, Spider, 41 years of racing. He's raced at least one event every year. Some others he's done a full campaign. Of course, from a highlight, he has continued to race for the last 41 years. It's amazing accolade. And the one that I recall more than any, when New Zealand was privileged to hold the final round of the inaugural World Superbikes in 1988 at Manfield in the North Island, the year that World Supers kicked off, and we had 250cc support racing there that day. There had to have been 45, maybe 50 250 production bikes, and Grant Ramage won the 250 race in front of what was the biggest motorcycle crowd I've ever seen at Manfield, and probably I don't think there's ever been a crowd to rival it when World Superbikes came to town, but the 250 racing won by this man Grant Ramage. So a true champion, and of course we'll have a memorial race for his late brother Alan as well here tomorrow, and his other great brother Pete, who's been a key part in our sport. They're just a fantastic family, and to see Grant himself deserve a place on that front row on his home track here at Levels, man, I know it's an exaggeration, but if he'd be the closest person to have done a million laps around here, nobody else would have done as many laps as this man has over that long period of time. So bring it on, as Charlotte takes the lead and takes the advantage in the middle stages. So keep a look out for good. Remember, of course, we've got the 250 freight train, so we've got the two classes combined in one. We're still recognising 250s, and we'll do for a number of years until they've petered out the market. But effectively now, every new bike that's sold, and of course Honda have one, Kawasaki have one, Yamaha have one, are all that 300cc bike now. So Dennis Charlotte, Regan Phipps, Grant Ramage, still there. We got the front row position. He's still in the front row as we look out to, I think.
All right, three wide going into the John Jones Steel corner. And I think that was Grant Ramage coming from third into first, and he's held it. Beautiful presentation of the bike. A bright orange bike, a bright yellow, and a blue and white bike. So it's very easy for us commentators to pick it up. Now Neil, you're talking about the depletion of the 250s. I looked at a bike at Turner's the other week, and I thought, well, it's a 2008 model Ninja, and shall I buy that and get it prepped up and somebody can race that? And I talked to a couple of people in the 250 production world, and they said that's the best model because it's carbureted. And if they were going to pick out one, so the actual bike structure and the geometry hasn't changed that much. So a 2008 Kawasaki Ninja is still probably one of the most competitive bikes out there. So that's interesting. Dennis Charlotte leads Grant Ramage there with 83. Regan Phipps goes next to number one. Andy McLaughlin, he won this championship last year, and I'm pretty sure in fifth place the green and black leathers will be Gavin Veltmeyer from Auckland. I'm pretty sure that's the situation there. So indeed, we have a look. We're going to go over to our two screens here. We're still getting used to it. Was Gavin Veltmeyer, followed by Richard Willits, Josh Goddard, Nick Burt, Sam Dalter, Timothy Gray, Jack Condon, Brett Garvin, James Barnum, Jacob Pierce, Dean Watson, Alex McAway, Reese Lindsay, Kane Bentley, Hayden Lockhart, and Nick Kane. That's the top 20 riders here.
Beautiful action. Beautiful action replay here of CTAS Live as we looked at for that update of Dennis. At this stage, of course, we've had four different riders now that have had a wheel in front at some stage during this race. So fantastic to see as we unfold through these opening laps. And remembering the 250s in there with the 300s, but they are recognised as a separate group. So we'll peel them off. They all start together. And the first 250s are... looking back there as the next group goes, we've got the first of the minute. Nick Kane back in 20th place in the field overall. So giving you an idea, they've all started together. It wasn't a split start, but they've all got away together. So just how much quicker those new 300s and the 390s are. Look at that. And Grant Ramage trying to put his nose back up there again. And will he hold on to it? Yes, he has. So there you go. Just when Dennis Charlotte thought it was his, of course. Dennis Charlotte's already been a performer and a winner in this class. Here's the man that's done it all in New Zealand motorcycle road racing, 125 GP, 250 GP, Pro Twins, of course, 600 Super Sport, Super Bikes, where he won two titles as well, and he's done it in this Super Sport 300 class. The only one he hasn't is our Super Light class, and he's got a bike to go for that this year. So he could become the first person to win every recognised two-wheel road racing class in New Zealand. So Dennis Charlotte, the great ambassador of motorcycle sport, president of Motorcycle in Canterbury, our host for round number 1 of the NZSBK Championship as well last year. So bring it on with Dennis. Dennis and Grant now, between those two, there is a, what's there going to be, about 110, 111 years in there between the combined age of those two riders. Good on you guys. Love your support for our sport. It's fantastic. And look at that when you've got two class performers like that. And there's the young kid, and Regan Phipps in the seat in the house as he watches those two fight out, and he's not too far away from them at all. So, in fact, only 0.422 of a second behind in the run through there. So it's a trio with a 1, 2, 3. Then we've got a fantastic run of 5 bikes to fight out that next place as we look for Gav Veltmeyer to contest the order of what they're doing back there. So that's the, I suppose you say, the next qualification. Ball back from 4th place back. So it's a tight little battle in there. In fact, no, it's Andy McLaughlin. Andy McLaughlin is in there ahead of Josh Goddard, Sam Goulder and Richard Willis. So Gav Veltmeyer back a little bit. So I probably gave him a little bit of credit that he was not entitled to. But anyway, it was a similar branded bike and a similar colour of leathers, but not the right number. Certainly not the right rider. There we are, courtesy of John Jones Steel, going down in this fantastic sweeper here at Level. That is the most amazing corner because it just goes round and round and round. And ask Hayden Fitzgerald what happened there about 10 years ago when he lost his bike, and his bike somersaulted off the track and landed in the flag marshal's car that was parked way off the back of the circuit. Over 100 metres was stepped out from the track, and the bike landed in there for the vehicle to be a write-off, and Hayden's bike wasn't much better.
Look at that, a big moment for Regan Phibbs at the hairpin there in 3rd place. He loses the front end, sits it back up. A man doing double duties. Timaru. We've got Timaru there with Grant Ramage in 2nd place in the 300 Supersport class. But we've also got Nick Kane, Jackson Croft and Harry Parker in the top 3 in the 250 class. Harry Parker on 24 is running 3rd in the 250 production. So local track, 2 guys on the podium in the different classes. And remember, we didn't come here for the New Zealand Superbike Championship last year, so a lot of these people have not ridden at levels until yesterday. A lot of the newcomers to the sport, so outstanding. Regan Phibbs, he hasn't recovered from that. He's not enough after that moment, that big slide. He recovered at the moment so sensationally, mate. That was a real difficult situation, but now he's way off the pace there and not any chance of getting up in the slipstream as we've got 3 laps to go. 8-lap race here for the Dyno Works New Zealand Supersport 300 Championship. Dyno Works in Ashburton, and we've got the 250 class, which is also brought to you by Dyno Works.
All right, nice to have an opportunity here at the moment to be joined in the commentary box here by Team Stroud and Jacob. Not quite as busy today with only opting to concentrate on one class today, and I'll personally say congratulations for making that choice because, mate, doing 2 classes I thought was just going to be far too much work for a young man like yourself. You feel more relaxed today, Jacob, with that decision?
No, it's really good just running the one bike, so we can just focus on the one and not having to run around with both bikes, not almost wasn't enough time in the day, so just here to watch some great racing like this 300 class.
All right, indeed 300s, and of course you've done some small bike racing with some of these types of bikes, and if you were allowed to choose a weapon to go out in that class, what would the bike you'd be choosing now?
Well, I'll be riding 390 for Northern Nationals, which I just absolutely love. I've been riding for a year now in the High Sun Cup for a long time since then, and I just absolutely love these small bikes, the way you can throw them around, and I'll be riding 3 singles at the North Holm with the Kramer, the High Sun and the 390, so I really look forward to that. Just watching into turn 1, we were going in there, it was close from my family at the dinner table, and it was just an absolute show to see Regan up there tying about 4 of them. It was really, really impressive.
Awesome to see. Well done. Thank you indeed, Jacob Stroud, to join us as Spiders continue to watch this Dyno Works sponsored race unfold. And Spider put Grant Ramage back on his home track, a whole different ride to what we saw at Ruapuna last week. And for that matter, of course, that was Dennis Charlotte's home track.
I remember about 4 or 5 years ago at Manfield, there was 5 people set lap records in the 250 production up there, and one of them was Grant Ramage. He was in his early 50s, and some of the other competitors were 17, 18 years old. So Grant Ramage holding his own there, and certainly doing it sensationally. Now, we call this 300 Supersport. There are 325cc Yamaha twins here, 300cc Ninjas Kawasaki's out there twins, and the KTM's are 390 now. You've got to realise they're a single cylinder bike, so in terms of performance on the track, you see they are relatively even. All these three bikes will star at individual tracks around the countryside. There's certain things that they're just really good at, and some things they're not so good at, or the other one's better at a track. So that's what it is. Dennis Charlotte leads into the John Jones Steel corner. The white flag is out, followed by Grant Ramage, and we go back to the third. Reagan Phibbs on the 83 machine. Josh Goddard and Andy McLaughlin are having a massive battle. Josh on the 37 machine, and Andrew McLaughlin, as we see Dennis Charlotte's wife out there, 15, going through there. She's towards the tail end of the field, but just enjoying her racing so much. Okay, they're coming out there. This is the final lap there. Neil Ritchie, they're coming out of the hairpin.
Yeah, great to watch indeed. If we go for the action, it is Dennis Charlotte, Grant Ramage, Regan Phibbs to look out for. As Spider picked up before, after Regan had his moment, he's lost track of the duel, and here's a big duel to go on. Look at that from Dennis Charlotte and Grant Ramage, combined age of over 111 years. That is great to see. Two top gentlemen who cross the line there for a 1-2. Back to Regan Phibbs to take the update, and then looking back to Andy McLaughlin. He got that next advantage, so well done to him. Of course, as we fight it out, he's got the affordable storage. Hughes Motors supported KTM 390 as we look for the remainder of the freight train with Josh Goddard.